Oh, yeah. Freak out. Yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope. And this is Macho Man. #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future. Yeah. And I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar. Yeah, the cream of the crop. Dig it?
49er Mind is it's not just a thought process, but a way of life. 49er Mind, 49er Mind, I can't shake it. It's 49er Mind that I got. It's 49er Shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco Super Bowl. Don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A written go session. I thought I read a gold obsession with some well-controlled expressions. Let's talk about that win that we got. My food should have been in the spot. That's how they spin in the spot. Let's call that back, call that crack, call that strip, fumble sack. Or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the storyline, as long as the story aligns with a 49er mind. 49er minded. It's not just a thought process, 49er minded, but a way of life. For sure. 49er minded. Way of life. 49er minded.
Yo, what is up, everybody? We are here. We're live. Welcome to another edition of 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. I'm here with my co-host, Aaron, sipping on that coffee. How's that coffee tasting?
Fantastic. Just like pizza before I got on here.
I know you had some victory pizza. Lucky you, man.
Victory pizza, victory coffee. It's a good day.
There you go. Yeah, 34-3, cannot complain. We got some people waiting patiently in the chat. I'm going to shout you guys out in a minute. This is Aaron for 49ers, the First Takes podcast. He's on here as my co-host. He's been on here before we collab. We tried to collab yesterday, but things didn't work out, and we just said, screw it, we'll just get on the post game tomorrow. So it looks like it's going to work out better in our favors. And yeah, happy to have you on. It's always good to have you on, bro.
Yeah, I felt like we all did enough preview shows last week. Both of us. I think it was okay if we missed yesterday. We're both old. We need naps. You know, I wasn't feeling so great. He's like, I took a nap too. I was like, all right, cool. I don't feel as bad. So yeah, all is good. All is forgiven.
Yes, sir. Let me see what's up. Some people waiting patiently in the chat. Fire it up. 49ers says press man coverage was the biggest change in our defense, and it worked. Red Jet Shells here. What's up? Says let's go Niners. Never left. Awesome win. Bebop is here. Bang bang Niner gang. Sunshine. I like that. It's funny. It's up there with the Dallas game. Yeah, that was pretty much up there. I think Dallas game was a bit more fun in my opinion, but this was right behind it though. Terradome, what's up? Welcome to the Terradome. Check out his YouTube channel. Says what's up, fellas? Good win. Great to have you guys in the chat, especially Terradome. Had fun with you on Friday night on your channel for a little bit. We were doing a little Friday night thing on the NFL variety show. So yeah, I mean, we brought Steve Wilkes on the sidelines, and things looked a bit different. Some people thought it wouldn't make a difference. So, we're gonna get into that. David McNiners here says, "Let's effing go Niners." What's up, bro? But yeah, it was just good to see. Jeez, man. I mean, the addition of Chase Young. Some people thought that wouldn't make a difference either. They said, "Oh, we need DBs," and I get it. Sure, some better DBs would be nice, but you take what you can get. If you can get the second pick overall, who I think was a pretty badass pass rusher coming out of college, I think he was still pretty damn good on the Commanders, and a former teammate of Bosa in college. And you can get him for only a third round pick, and that's a round that we do poorly in anyways. And even if he leaves and signs with another team, we still get a comp pick back. That's a win-win, man. What'd you think about Chase Young today?
Thought he played amazing. I thought the Niners, because he was in, my brother was watching with me. We were talking about how the Niners have a nice rotation now. If this continues to be, it's like everybody gets knocked down the pecking order, so to speak, on the depth chart where they belong, instead of playing guys out of position who really are not starter material. So that being said, I thought the fact that they brought those guys out and they had a whole fresh defensive line going out there with Gregory and whatnot, I thought that was awesome. They literally had a play where they both raced to the quarterback. That was amazing. It was awesome.
They had a few of those. I forgot exactly when and where they happened, but those were a lot of fun. We got a Ravens fan in the house. Actually, a really cool guy. Darwin's Raven is here. Says congrats, by the way. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining the chat. Randy Daytona is here. Says the team won. Yes, we sure did. We definitely won.
Yeah.
Devo Smith It should be. You should make it Steve O.A. Smith. Said CMC said I suck. Everyone on the team scored but me.
I know.
He came close. He came close.
It was okay though. We won by 31 points. I think.
I can't complain.
Yeah.
I'll take team accomplishments over any personal records any day.
Yeah.
Dan Castillo's here says let's go Niners. Yeah, I mean early on what happened, man? In the first they had the ball, right? You know, they started off the game. And shit, man, we got to the quarterback right away, man. It was like we made our presence felt.
I was cautiously watching the game. I didn't really know what to expect, you know, because everybody said all the right things in the press conferences leading up to the game. There was a lot of talking. You know, Jason Aponte was on the channel the other day, and Jason said it's time to stop talking and just go play. Like, no more excuses, no more reasons. Go out and execute, and they did. Yeah, it was. It's always nice when your team is up in the fourth quarter and the game's out of reach, and you can relax for the last like 6 or 7 minutes and be like, oh, what are we gonna get for dinner after? You know what I mean? Like when you have to watch a game and everything is so important and stressful, and then you end up losing in the end. I mean, that's part of being a fan, but it's not like the NBA where it's like, oh, we lost 3 games, we're gonna win the next 10 though. Every game matters. So it was it's nice, and you're never as good or as bad as the film. You know, they say the film, like the Niners played really well today, but I'm sure there's things they can clean up coverage wise, pass protection wise. You know, we killed Dallas, and then we lost 3 straight. So hopefully the Niners can kind of level head themselves going into the next game and not kind of have a letdown.
Yeah, I don't know if the players pay attention to what goes on in the media, but maybe against Dallas they did, because for whatever reason things change, you know, especially the fact that you go into Cleveland, and you know, I get it, they have a good defense and they actually won today, but you know, historically Cleveland doesn't have that mystique about being like a great team or a formidable team, and you just think, whatever, this team sucks. We just whooped Dallas. You know, that team has 5 Super Bowls, and we whooped them in front of national spotlight, and now we're going to have to play Cleveland. Who cares? You know, it was almost like that. And they weren't playing Deshaun Watson. And unfortunately, yeah, it bit us in the ass big time. Let's do this. Let's go through the box scores really quick, and then we can go through the breakdowns of certain things that happened in the game.
Word.
Yeah. So Purdy, you know, he had a lot of doubters over that 3-game skid, man. I mean, geez, dude. I mean, I was like, damn, a lot of people lost hope in this guy, and some people were some suspect Niner fans that were sitting at the edge of their seat, kind of praying on Purdy's downfall. Like, oh, look, he's not the guy. He's not the real deal. You know, why do we invest all this time in Purdy when we could have kept the other guy? But at the end of the day, you know, Purdy had himself a nice game. 19 for 26, 296 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. CMC on the ground, 16 carries, 95 yards. Okay, a bit better than I thought. 5.94 a carry. Did not get in the end zone, unfortunately. Deebo Samuel got the ball a few times on the ground, 3 carries, 29 yards, 1 touchdown. Nice one for Deebo there. Elijah Mitchell looked a little better. He had some questionable carries. So he was 8 for 23, 2.88 yards per carry. Not too great, but a few times he looked pretty good on some carries. Kittle, 3 receptions, 116 yards, only targeted 4 times. Brandon Ayuk, 3 receptions, 55 yards. They both had touchdowns apiece. CMC, 6 receptions for 47 yards, 10 targets, and no touchdowns. And Kyle Juszczyk, 2 receptions, 26 yards. Deebo, 4 receptions, 30 yards. And Juszczyk did have a touchdown as well. We saw Ronnie Bell with a 20-yarder, right? Nice to see him come back. Yeah, nice to see him come back. And it's been a while since a lot of Niner fans were especially when Deebo was out, like why aren't we seeing Ronnie Bell in the mix? You know, and then people are like, oh, well, Shanahan doesn't like rookies, and you know, that's how it goes with Shanahan when it comes to rookies. But I'm just saying, like a guy like Ronnie Bell, he looks like he has all the fundamentals and all the attributes to be something.
Yeah, he looked good. It was nice to see him. You know, Juwan Jennings had a nice catch in the game that kept the drive alive, and then he, you know, I was thinking to myself, like other people I've streamed with, talking about the Niners possibly moving on at the end of the year if Juwan wants too much, and having Ronnie Bell kind of fall into that spot. I mean, we all know about the rookie thing. Kyle doesn't play rookies unless it's garbage time. That's just how he runs his team, and you know, that's just that's how it's going to be as long as Kyle's the coach. But it was nice to see. Yeah, nice garbage time catch over the middle, big time throw by was it Purdy that threw him that
It was
ball?
Purdy. It was Purdy. It was like the last nice play that Purdy made, and before he
That was
walked
the
off
Purdy's
the field.
last completion, and then they took him out.
Might
Yeah,
have been. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought he looked strong. I thought the all the guys that you said, everybody had a piece of the pie today. Nobody really outshined anybody. I was watching an old 49ers game where I think it was the 89 NFC Championship game against the Rams, and it was showing Montana's ability to spread the ball out. And the stat line with Brock looked very similar to that game where like everybody had a piece. You know what I mean? It's like hard to guard or hard to play defense when everybody's, available to make plays. So that was it was a pretty satisfying game to watch and felt more like what we were used to before the 3-game skid. So only time will tell, my dog.
Yeah, I mean it's a long season. They extended to 17 games. It used to be 16 games. And sure, I mean you don't want to lose 3 games in a row. You never do. But at the end of the day, it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Let me see what's up to E Kim. Shout out, what's up, bro? Says hey Bashar. Bebop says CMC is strong as fuck. Yeah, CMC's nice, man. I just wish we would mix it in a little bit more with the other running backs. We kind of did that today. Mitchell looked kind of good every now and then. He kind of sucked.
You could understand why he doesn't. Every time Mitchell comes in, he don't do nothing.
I don't know. He fell off a bit, man. I wish he'd get his form back. Rick Diaz is here. What's up, Rick Diaz? He says, gentlemen, I got a question for you. What do you think about McCaffrey? Doesn't he remind you of a running back named Roger Craig? Doesn't he run like him? Craig was a lot bigger. Craig would he had that high, those high knees going a lot. He was hard to bring down in that regard. So I think Craig was definitely more of a bruiser, but they do have the versatility going. You're right. Well, both are really, really nice receivers out of the backfield. And I kind of like CMC a little bit better in the backfield because he kind of reminds me more of a slot receiver.
If you listen to the broadcast, they talked about when the trade happened, he told Kyle Shanahan, listen, I'm not a gadget player. I'm a well-rounded running back. Like I can run the ball. You know what I mean? Like he pretty much had to tell Kyle, like, listen, you can use me as an every down back. Like I'm that guy. And I could also catch, you know what I mean? And play receiver really well. So the Niners, when healthy and on point and when they're clicking, pretty fun team to watch offensively, I gotta say.
Definitely. Let me give the box score of the Jags what they did, and then we can go through some of the bigger plays and some of the drives really quick. So Trevor Lawrence, some people love this guy. I was never a big fan of Trevor Lawrence. Even in college, I didn't like him all that much. But Trevor Lawrence went 17 for 29, 185 yards, 0 TDs, which was awesome, 2 interceptions. We did have a CJ Beathard sighting, 1 for 2.
Saw that.
5 yards for CJ. I was kind of hoping we'd pick off CJ at the very end and get CMC in the end zone some way, somehow, but no, that didn't happen. Christian Kirk, who's really, really good, actually. The wide receiver for the Jags. He used to be in the Cardinals. 6 receptions, 104 yards, 11 targets. Their second leading receiver was their tight end, Evan Ingram, 4 receptions, 12 yards. They had a couple other guys with 2 catches apiece. Dearness Johnson, 2 catches, 28 yards. Calvin Ridley only had 2 catches, 20 yards. Who was guarding Ridley most of the time? Was it Mooney Ward or was it Ambry?
I'm not sure. All I know is I didn't like seeing Ambry out there.
Yeah, well, the whole point was they got Oliver off the field, and I didn't know they officially made the switch until I was watching the game and I saw Lenore out there. It finally clicked. I was like, oh wait, Ambry's been on the outside the whole time, and Lenore's been in the slot. They did make the switch. And they never activated Luter Jr. and I don't think they activated Womack, if I stand corrected.
Yeah, that's be something to watch. I trust Womack hell of a lot more. Well, not exactly on the outside. According to guys like Jason Aponte, he's better on the inside. But I'd rather have him out there, kick Lenore back to the outside, and have a guy like Womack in the slot. Luter can play outside corner, but I just feel like he's a little while away from being healthy enough to play. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, little dead silence there. My bad. Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, we want wishful thinking. I mean, everybody was hearing that Womack was going to be, and practicing, and Luder Jr. was going to be practicing. We haven't seen Luder Jr. play in any type of game yet, so
Nothing.
we heard good things about practices, but that's about it.
Practice.
So yeah, exactly. And Womack supposedly, last year wasn't guarding the run well, but he was covering nice, but he wasn't playing against the run well. And I think I made a little joke like, well, Oliver can play the run well, so put Oliver in on first downs and then take him off the field and put Womack in on passing downs. But they like Lenore at corner and nickel for now. Ambry's a little shaky. I mean, pissed me off when Trevor Lawrence threw that one deep ball, and I could have sworn we stopped him. And it was one of those BS things where the wide receivers like, oh, where's the flag? Where's the flag? Where's the flag? And then they threw the flag, and Ambry Thomas got a big PI call. And I hate it. I feel like every time those receivers do that gesture towards the refs, that the referees just right away throw the flag on us.
I feel like pass interference happens on every play, because I mean, how the hell are you else? It's so hard to guard wide receivers nowadays. Any little bit of contact is a flag. You know what I mean? So essentially, it gets called sometimes, and other times they miss it. That's how it really looks to me. Because I've seen worse things get no flags, and I've seen the most incidental contact of a guy kind of like running a slant or something and having a guy hold his jersey for like a half a second and have a flag be called. So, but I thought overall, the defense played pretty damn well. If this is how it's going to be every week, Bash, I'm okay with this. This is good for my mental health for sure.
Yeah. So let's go to the first drive, because the first drive, I mentioned it briefly, but I mean we had the Jags on 3rd and 5. There was a strong push up the pocket by Hargrave. Hargrave finally got back into the swing of things, and he was pushed up the pocket. And next, Clelin Ferrell and Armstead doubled up on the sack on Lawrence.
That was beautiful.
So they were only on the field for 5 plays. Then we swing it around and we get on the field for five plays. Next thing you know, Purdy throws a short little pass to McCaffrey, and then later in the game, 1st and 10, we had the ball at the 42. And Kittle Purdy throws it right to Kittle on the sidelines, and Kittle gets out of bounds right around the 15-yard line. And then we do play action. Purdy rolls to the left, and Purdy straight up throws this crazy throw across the field to the back of the end zone to Ayuk, where there was all kinds of traffic there. And you think that would have been picked off, but next thing you know, it's a TD, man. I was
weird.
So hyped. I was so hyped when that happened.
I was like, no, yeah. It was like, but hey, you know what? You got to do that in football. You got to take a chance. Got to, put the ball up there and let your receiver go up and get it. If Ayuk is the guy that we think he is, you should be able to make that play 9 times out of 10. So, not the smartest play in football. They'll tell you never to throw across your body or throw across back across the field, but he did, and it worked out. So. No complaints. I mean, if it didn't work out, I'm sure everybody would be up in arms, but you got to have some balls when you play football. Literally. You can't play conservative all the time. There's times where you watch Brock sometimes that I feel like he's thinking, okay, I'm not going to turn the ball over. I'm not going to force it. And it looks like it hinders him a little bit, with some of those plays where he ends up holding onto it and, throwing, intentional grounding or things like that. I feel like he's doing a little bit of that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I can't, no, I'm not going to force it. And, so, but I thought it was a pretty damn good throw for a guy that supposedly has no arm.
I know, the noodle arm, right? He's got a new arm, but he's making all these crisp, timely passes. How does he do it? We got Norm 209er in Empire, hip hop artist extraordinaire.
Nice.
Big time Niner fan. He said the 49ers got schmatted at. Yeah, I'm not sure if he still does 49er videos on his YouTube channel, but he used to make these cool.
See, when I think of Norm, I think of the guy from Cheers.
Okay,
hey, Norm.
So when the 49ers first built Levi's Stadium, he has a video on his YouTube channel where he's standing in front of the in front of the Levi's Stadium, and he's like, all these teams that we're gonna play are gonna get schmatted at. So that's his line, schmatted at. Shout out to Norm, good guy. Who else is here? We got Roberto Davis says at Bashar, Niners smoked the 3rd best team in the AFC. They were on a quite of a nice winning streak. They only lost 2 games, and a lot of people were hyping up their defense and their offense. And Peterson's a pretty damn good coach. He's won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, so it wasn't easy. It was a road game too, early road game. So we did our thing, man. Look good. Laura Cat's here. She says defense back all right. She's got some music. I think. Oh, she's got the Backstreet Boys theme going. I get it. There
Oh
you
God.
go. And Terradome says, "Where are the Brock haters? Can't find the Brock haters. Where are they?" A lot of them came out. They came out of the woodwork. With all
They were
that
talking about benching
man.
him on one of those shows. I think it might have been, Orlowski or one of those other.
Oh, really?
schlubs.
Okay, I missed that.
Yeah,
Orlowski
like
was
should he
saying
be,
that?
if he has another bad game, should he be benched or something? I didn't even bother watching it.
Interesting. That's that's too funny. So the 49ers on their after they scored a touchdown, they forced the Jags to punt. And they had a 10-play drive, but it was one of those 10-play drives where you think we're going to get a touchdown and we don't. We end up kicking a field goal. But at the end of the day, it's good practice for Moody, right? Let's get those field goals in. Let's build his confidence.
Yeah, it was weird. The Jaguars look like they have a pretty damn good defense. I thought the Niners earned everything they got. And you're right, that second drive was a little bit more difficult to come by. But they were able to break him down throughout the game. But this game was close for a bit in the beginning. Had me nervous, to be completely honest with you. Up until the touchdown to Kittle that kind of broke the game wide open. So
yeah, there were some nervous moments, especially in the first half, because it was kind of like a lot of the same that you saw in the previous games, where
a lot of penalties.
Yeah, just a lot of sloppiness where we'd make good plays and like, okay, cool, we're gonna get some points on the board in this on this drive, and next thing you know, a stupid penalty messes it up, or a sack, or what was that one play where it looked like Purdy was about to get sacked, and they thought he fumbled the ball forward downfield, but then it looked like an incomplete pass, and then I forgot what they ruled it as. They ruled it as a sack.
They ruled it as intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. That's what it was, grounding. Yeah. The defense was trying to act like it was a fumble, but they never recovered it to begin with. They went out of bounds.
Yeah, like why would you fight? Like, why would you fight for something that you didn't recover? Like, it makes no sense. It was out of play. But
exactly, it was kind of scary though, because I was like, as much as I love Bruh, and it was like he almost got completely out of the pocket, and the guy just got he shoestring tackled him. Basically, it was one of those fluky shoestring type tackles. It might have been Josh Allen. I forgot who it was exactly, but it would have been nice to see Purdy get out of the pocket and play and make something happen. It just we weren't so lucky on that play. I get it. Terradome also says something else. He said, "Oh, Brock haters are on a bye week." But now they are. Hopefully, we don't see them ever again. That means good things for the 49ers. And yeah, she said, "Yeah, Bashar, Backstreet Boys reference. I know you love singing their song. I do, huh?" And that was never really into the Backstreet Boys. I kind of appreciated some of their music more so after they were really big and famous. I'm kind of like that with certain singers or certain genres. I kind of appreciate them later in life, so to speak. But yeah, when they were out, I wasn't really that into them. I don't know about you, or in sync of those boy bands back in the day.
My sister was big into New Kids on the Block in the 80s. She went and saw them in concert out here in Rochester back in like 89. Never understood it. A lot of the girls that I went, who's that?
I mean, the New Kids on the Block are from New York.
They're from Boston.
Oh, from Boston? Really? I thought they were from New York the whole time.
Nope. They're from Boston. Yeah.
Nice. Really, really good comment here, because Aaron Banks being out with turf toe was a major concern. Especially with we didn't know if Trent Williams was going to play even, and I don't think Trent Williams necessarily had his best game either. And despite the fact that Brock threw up a lot of yards, 295 yards, I mean, it wasn't like he had like ideal time in the pocket or ideal blocking for him to get those yards. And there were some shaky moments, in terms of pass protection. But Feliciano, shout out to him, he did a good job.
There was that play where he got hit pretty hard on a missed block by McKivitz. You wonder if McKivitz would lose his job to say someone like Jalen Moore, and you put Jalen Moore at right tackle. I wouldn't mind having something like that happen, because I think McKivitz right now is kind of the weak link of that line. I know there's talk that Spencer Burford might be platooning with Feliciano. Not Buford, people. Burford. He might be doing a little bit of mix and match with Feliciano, like platooning, and that Burford might lose his job eventually. There was some noise coming out of Twitter about that, so definitely something to keep an eye on. They're gonna get our quarterback killed. You know what I mean? They gotta tighten up that pass protection.
Yeah, Jalen Moore didn't look too bad at the left tackle position, and I was telling Raj this the other day, like, because I've experience playing offensive line. Because you're pretty good on one side doesn't necessarily mean you'll be good on the other side. Primarily because when you are switched to the position on the opposite side, a lot of times it just feels weird. It doesn't feel right, and it's just one of those things that you don't realize until you actually do it. Now, sometimes for some people, they can naturally progress to their side and it feels the same, but for some people, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel the same. So we'll see how that goes if they ever were to make that move. McKivitz at times is okay, but I just wish this. I don't know why Shanahan didn't prioritize offensive line in the offseason. I really don't. I was talking about this with Ryan Hensley on the show, and I'm not going to mention the guy's name who we should have drafted. I've said his name a million times on the channel, and he's on the Cleveland Browns now. But let me say what's up to John V from the Locker Room Rant. It says, happy victory Sunday night fan. He's an Ohio guy, big Ohio State fan, huge fan of Bosa coming out of college, huge fan of Chase Young coming out of college. So he's got his Chase Young's college jersey. So I'm sure he was really happy to see what happened on the field today. Roberto Davis is here. What's up, Roberto? Just Flav is on the same milk cart as Rudy. That's funny. Yeah, I can't know that guy, man. Do not say that guy's name. What's up?
I was at work on Saturday. It was Friday or Saturday. There was a guy, they were talking about college football, and I asked one of them who his team was. It was the game, and he's an Ohio State fan. I said, well, I'm going to play for your Ohio State. I'm going to put the particles out there because we have two Ohio State defensive ends now on the same team. He's like, I know, Bosa and Chase Young. I'm like, yeah. So I'm responsible for the win. I put the magic out there with Ohio State cheering for them. I don't know. Did they win yesterday?
They did win yesterday. Yeah. How would they play though?
Yeah, I'm responsible for the win. Yeah. So if you're gonna tell anybody or not blame, but give anybody any credit, it's really me. I put the magic out there.
So. Yeah, they won 38-3 over Michigan State. So
nice.
There you go. Yeah, a lot of people hate Ohio State, but some people love. I've always admired Ohio State. They're a great football program. And their quarterback coming out of there, CJ Stroud's having a really nice year so far.
Man, is he good? I hope
they won today too. I saw D'Amico in the locker room hyping up the players after the game. I see a Bill Burr comedian reference. I'm not sure what this is about. I love Bill Burr. I think he's hilarious though. Bill Burr's awesome.
Somebody told me I look like him before he lost his hair.
Oh, okay. Bill Burr's hilarious. I love Bill Burr.
He is super hilarious. He was actually in a Mandalorian episode, Star Wars.
Okay. I don't like. I forgot what movie it was. Some older movie, and then he had some role in that movie, and he was kind of serious. I'm like, just be Bill Burr. Don't be anybody else. I don't know.
John V, we could have thrown you a tutty out there. Hell yeah, son. My big gimpy ass. I could have caught one. Yeah.
There you go. So let's go back and recap some of the plays really quick. So the 49ers scored after the 49ers field goal. The Jags punted later down on their next drive. And when we punted after, and the Jags did have the ball, and it was 26 minutes left in the second quarter. And Trevor Lawrence got sacked at the 48-yard line for -2 yards. It was a Nick Bosa Chase Young sandwich, and he ended up fumbling, and the 49ers recovered, man. A lot of Niner fans were texting me, and we all got pretty damn excited when that happened.
That was nice. I didn't think it would pay dividends immediately. Turned to my brother. I was like, man, already, this is great. Like, I didn't expect anything because the pass rush has been so bad. I mean, I was like, hey, 1-2 plays by one of the guys, during the game. I'm okay with that. But to have it to where they both got to the quarterback at the same time and got a strip sack and recovery, not bad.
Oh, yeah. And then I believe later in the game, didn't we pin them down at like the 1 yard line or something like that? And I think the Jags scored. Did they score a touchdown on the next drive? Yeah, the Jags scored a field goal.
Yeah, they almost went the whole field.
Yeah, they almost got a touchdown when we stopped them.
Sterling Bennett, he's like, if they score on a drive on a 99-yard touchdown, I'm gonna. And he didn't really say what he was gonna do. You're muted, Bash.
That was when it kind of felt like the 49er defense from the three games skid because the special teams balled out, pins them, and then this team's like, dicing us up the field. They're about to get a TD, and we stopped them for only a field goal, so that was nice. Later in the first half, we ended up scoring a field goal, and that was the first half. We put up 10 points the first half, but early in the first half, we put up a touchdown, and that was the one. I believe it was like the second play. Was it the second play of the drive? Like the 56-yard touchdown to Kittle, man. And that play pretty looked like he was in trouble, man. It looked like he had some pressure up the middle. He just threw it up there anyways, and boom, right down the sidelines, right after the catch, 66 yards.
That was like a Russell Wilson kind of touchdown where like or even Drew Brees, he's like barely peeking over the top of the offensive and defensive line. And he put it only in a place where the receiver could make a play. I was just thinking to myself, if that's Jimmy, he overthrows that or underthrows it.
Yeah. Or
Same
he
kind
just
of
doesn't
play.
look that direction.
Or he doesn't even
Jimmy,
look at his
yeah.
because it's too far downfield.
Yeah, Jimmy rarely looks towards the sidelines.
That got me hyped. That got me hyped. I was kind of up and down as far as what if I thought the Niners, if it was going to be their day or not. So like, you know, I was there when that happened. I was like, okay, this might be our day today. No, because but the thing is, it wasn't like it was easy sledding early on with the offense. I felt like we had to really struggle to get stuff going for a bit. So that was a huge play. And I feel like the Niners need some of those sometimes. Instead of a drive where you have to drive the ball down the field, 12 plays, 5 minutes. I like sometimes getting a play and getting a touchdown on one, a shot play. Those are always nice. So single covered Kittle down the sideline. And unlike other quarterbacks that were here before, he'll actually attempt to make that throw. So awesome throw. It was an incredible throw.
Yeah. And again, we all know that he doesn't have the strongest arms. He's playing quarterbacks who've had stronger arms, but I mean, these are legit, 25 yard, 30 yard down passes, 30-yard passes down the field with accuracy, with pretty good coverage, and he's making the throws, and he's, a lot of quarterbacks aren't going to have the confidence to throw that ball out there. They just won't, but he does. And again, he was under pressure. It's not like he had a completely clean pocket either. So it was just nice to see Kittle. I love it when Kittle gets those big long touchdowns with yak yards, rack yards, whatever you want to call them, yakety yak. Afterwards, you can drink some cognac and yeah. And I got the cognac part for Twin Baker. We were on Friday and we were talking about yak, and I said yakety yak, and he had the cognac part. Shout out to him. On the next drive, the Niners got another sack though. They sacked Lawrence again. This time was Clelin Ferrell on the sack. Javon Hargrave was providing some pressure, and he sacked Lawrence actually. And yeah, it's actually Ferrell sacked Lawrence, and it was nice to see Ferrell get in there because Ferrell's been pretty good against the run this year, and he was pretty bad. He was a badass at Clemson. He was Trevor Lawrence's teammate at Clemson actually, but he hasn't been the sack guy in the NFL with the Raiders or the Niners. But at least he got himself a nice sack there. Not bad for him.
I thought the Niners looked rested. They looked rested and fresh and quick, and just like they played with some energy. A lot of their rushes, man, they stayed on it. And, before the bye week, I mean, they just, in some games, they would look like they were playing patty cake with the offensive line and not really even trying to get any pressure. So it was nice. It was nice to see a refreshed team with some energy and with some, refreshing your mind and your body with the bye week, coming back and actually looking like you're giving 100% effort, because this team, like, it's such easy analysis, but when healthy, this team is really hard to stop on a weekly basis, regardless of how good you are, offensive and defensively. So I thought that the bye week really, like Laura Cat said, really did them some good. They look like a different team. 100%.
They sure did. And they probably got bitched at big time and by the coaching staff a whole lot. And they knew they had to work extra hard to try to get this W, because losing 3 in a row would just really, really put them in a bad spot, in my opinion. And they had to get out of that some way, somehow. Let me go back to that drive really quick. It was in the third quarter, 10 minutes and 47 seconds left. 3rd and 1. And Lawrence drops back and he's pressured again from Bosa. Bosa pretty much sacks him, but Lawrence releases the pass anyways. But it goes right in the hands of Talanoa Hufanga, which is beautiful. I got so hyped up on the play because Bosa made a play, and then Hufanga did, and I just love two of my favorite players on defense. I got really hyped up on that play just as much as the Kittle play, actually.
I told my brother, I said, that's team freaking defense. That's team defense. That's everybody staying locked in on a play, staying where you're supposed to be, not cheating up, cheating back, whatever. And rush. It's a rush and cover game, right? The Niners, preach that philosophy every single year, especially John Lynch, rush and cover, and that was 100% what was on display right there. You had the rush, made the quarterback, with an errant throw, and the defensive back was there to make the interception. Stayed in the play, stayed within himself. That was just a solid. That's like how you draw it up, really. That if you're not going to get to the quarterback and take him down, at least affect the throw, and that's exactly what happened. That was pretty damn good defense.
Whenever you say rush, I don't know why, but this Paula Abdul song keeps creeping up in my head. Rush, rush. Remember that song?
Hurry, hurry, lover, come to me. Yeah, I know that song.
All right, so we got Niner Sickness Podcast in the chat. Says, what's up, gentlemen? Just stop by to support the channel by hitting the like button. Appreciate that. Good to see you in here, bro. Great win, by the way. It's a great win for all Niner fans. Let's go back. Later in the game, the Jags. So the score was 23. Later in the game, the Jags drove all the way up to the 10-yard line. And this was a play that had us rocking and reeling, man. All kinds of emotions on this play. Trevor Lawrence drops back to throw, hits Christian Kirk on the left sideline about the 5-yard line. Bunch of Niner players corral him, which is nice. Ambry Thomas included. Helps force the fumble. Ambry Thomas dives in the ball. Nobody tackles him. Nobody touches him. A lot of people just stop because they think the play's over. And I thought the play was over, but the announcer's like, "Oh, Ambry Thomas is still running." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Keep running. Keep on running, Ambry."
Yeah,
and
the
I'm like,
graphic
yes!
popped up. I'm like, "Oh, it's an actual touchdown." Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, yes. When the graphic popped up, I was even more hyped. I was like, yes, no flags, touchdown. Let's go, Niners. We in this. We're blowing them out. And then next thing you know, they come back and they're like, whenever you see those referees huddle up on a Niner big play, it's all bad. We never get the call our way, man.
Where's our get back guy? We need to have like an electric fence like they do for dogs, so these guys don't I understand why they called it, and it's a legitimate penalty.
Yeah, it was silly though. The freaking
right.
Who was Holland, the linebackers coach, and some of the players. Once I saw it, I was like, okay, I can't be a homer about this. These guys messed up big time and stepped on the field.
Just one of those things where it's like, this game had a couple points in it where momentum could have started swinging the other way, and this was definitely one of those, like, you get the touchdown, you go up, it's pretty much over. And then to have that punch in the stomach where they don't get the touchdown, I was like, okay, how are they going to respond here by getting screwed out of that touchdown? And as we know, they scored anyways.
Yeah, that was nice. So. Yeah. Okay, so Niner Sickness said he just got done doing the show. Cool, man. Great win. Welcome to the channel, Mick Maalo. If I'm saying your name, must be some type of Polynesian type last name, if I'm not mistaken. He says, Niners, let's go. Appreciate you. Make sure everybody to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate everybody watching the channel. And if you're not subscribed to 49ers First Takes podcast, I have the link in the description box of this video. That's Aaron's YouTube channel. Definitely check it out. We're always here to support each other, and we always collab, and it's a great time. Yeah, so it sucked because the Niners ended up getting that fumble. They got the ball back at like the freaking 10-yard line or some crap instead of having a touchdown. And that could have sucked the life out of us. You have a stupid, ridiculous penalty like that. And it's the Niners' fault. I was watching the game, and initially I was like, oh, the refs took that touchdown from us. But once I saw it, okay, I was like, damn, yeah, those idiots literally walked on the field during the play. So, we had the ball, and then lo and behold, Purdy right away on 39. There was a deep ball down the sideline to Ayuk, and we get the ball at the 40-yard line, and we're pretty much back in business. This is our the 40-yard line before the 50-yard line, that is. And we're ready to score. But next thing you know, on the following play, Kittle catches the ball at the 35-yard line, and we're pretty much in position to kick a field goal. But we keep going, and CMC's running the ball up the gut and bringing the ball all the way down to the 20-yard line. And on this drive, I believe is the one we threw the touchdown to Kyle Juszczyk. And that was a really, really nice touchdown too, man. That was, I know when the announcer was saying something like, oh no, my bad, this wasn't the Juszczyk touchdown. This is when we handed it off to Debo, actually. We had the ball at the 23-yard line, and Debo just ran to the left sideline, and everybody blocked their asses off, and Debo just had smooth sailing to the end zone and did a little dance. So it's nice to see Debo back involved. Debo's like the spark plug for the offense, and we missed him, and Brock Purdy missed him, and we missed Trent too, and all those guys blocked well, and we got done on that drive. nice little recovery from the touchdown that we lost.
Yeah, it felt like a complete. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. Gather my thoughts here. That was just like a complete team drive. You know what I mean? Everybody got a touch. Everybody got a taste. And the fact that Debo was able to get in the end zone after being out. I didn't realize how much I missed Debo. I know in the offseason I was like, pretty much saying, Ayuk, trade Debo, get rid of him. He's injured a lot, move on. And sure enough, I'm wrong, which I'm fine with. He is so vital to this offense. He just there's so much more that he offers when he's on the field. Not just the blocking, but the running, catching, receiving, all of it. So, yeah, that was nice. It was nice to see him get back into the end zone. Everybody was, giving him some love because it's been a while. And I'm happy to have Debo back. I'm happy to have Trent back. I hope Trent, got out of this game relatively unscathed. And same with Debo. Another game next week. I have a chance to go to 7-3. You just gotta stay healthy, get their rest, and then come out and execute like they did this week, and we should be fine. It was a good team win. It was a good team win, and that was a good team drive. That was when I watch football after being having to deal with Jimmy G, anytime they throw the ball down the field out of the screen, I'm always nervous. Even with Brock, I have PTSD, and when he makes these big throws that I don't expect he's going to make because of the Jimmy G PTSD, it's nice. So, yeah, that was quite an interesting drive to be stuffed back at our own 5 or 8 yard line and be able to go the length of the field and get a touchdown after that whole debacle that happened. I thought that was very telling about what kind of game we were having.
Totally, it's nice to bounce back. And let me ask you this question, because before I get into the recap at the very end of the game, some people were saying one thing and some people were saying the other in terms of who's credited to why the defense did so much better. Because some people were like, "Oh, well, was it because of Wilkes being on the sidelines, or was it because the addition of Chase Young and they were just going to win anyways?" Dan Castillo says, "Did you see Wilkes getting pumped up on the sidelines? He had that solid feeling today. Yeah, he definitely looked a lot more enthusiastic and into it, much more so than when he's just sitting up in the booth, and he looked more focused too. I could just tell by his facial expressions." But do you think it was the personnel switch or the coaching switch?
I think it was a combination of everything. I thought it was a combination of bringing in another hired gun, so to speak, on the defensive line. I thought it was maybe some better coaching and the fact that he was on the field and he could kind of get in touch with his players and kind of be able to, get a feel for things. And I also think the rest. This team had rest. They were able to recover their bodies, get some rest, and they've done a lot of traveling. The Niners have around the least amount of rest days compared to other teams. So I thought that was key. I just think they look like they had energy in this game. I felt like the offense and defense played perfect. What do you call ball? When both sides, you know what I'm trying to say. The word. What's the word? Complementary football.
There you go. Okay, good. You got it down. Yeah, I mean, it kind of was a combination of the two, because I mean, they need to find a way to keep Chase Young on this roster, man. I know it's only one game. I know we picked up Randy Gregory, but if we could find, I don't know, what sucks is that it's not Armstead's it's not his free agency year. And honestly, if I was to let go of anybody on that D line that's making a lot of money, it's Armstead. Not that he's a bad player, not that he's not good, but it's just that we can afford to pick up another D tackle for way cheaper.
Yeah.
And then give Chase Young whatever contract we need to give him, because it looks like it's probably going to head towards that way where Chase is going to want a nice contract.
I know. I find myself not being able to live and enjoy the moment knowing that he's probably going to be on another team next year. It sucks. I mean, does he want to stay with the 49ers and take a little less and be part of a winner? Or is he all about the money? And people are like, well, if he's about the money, then he's not about winning. No, it's not necessarily true. They have a finite career time in the NFL, and one play you could be hurt and then your career could be over. So it's all about maximizing your earning potential. So I get that. I don't shame guys for taking more money. The only time I've ever shamed, I think, an athlete is where they'd rather not play. Like, was it Ken Griffey Jr. just never wanted to play for the Yankees just for his dad hating the team or something. So like that man screwed himself out of championships because of some stupid crap where he didn't want to play for them. And I find that like sometimes in sports it's kind of similar, but in this case, if he does end up playing for the Niners next year, that'll be great. But I'm not expecting it. So I'm just going to kind of enjoy this. Hopefully he's the missing piece, Bash, and we're on our way to a conference championship game rematch against the Eagles, but one game at a time.
We all remember who the missing piece was. Well, I wasn't necessarily watching that year, but I've heard plenty of stories on when the 49ers picked up Fred Dean, and then when he did win the Super Bowl against the Miami Dolphins, he was a missing piece in terms of the pass rush. The Dallas Cowboys got their missing piece from us with one of the dumbest trades the 49ers have ever done. Yep. And they picked up Charles Haley. So maybe this is our little spark plug that we need for the rest of the season. We got Tommy Huxley says, "What's good, kids?" So shout out to him. 49ers throwback is up with here. Says Drake Jackson ate it. They actually have him on injured reserve right now. So remember, I was saying
we called it. I got a text from Raj today, and I was trying to figure out what the hell the text meant. It said something like, "We called it, blah blah blah, injured," and I'm like, "Huh?" And then all of a sudden, I look at Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, that's what Raj meant." Like I said to Raj, I says, watch the Niners come up with some BS injury, and he ends up on injured reserve. And to the T, that's exactly what happened. I didn't actually want it to be true, but he might get another chance through training camp next year, but I don't see any guarantee that this guy's going to be a long-term piece on this defense. That's 2 years in a row he's been shut down.
You're right. It is. And I think I was kind of making a joke about it with you or with Raj or with somebody. And I said that, like, yeah, he had those 3 sacks in the first game of the year, but now with the addition of Chase Young, it looks like those are the only sacks he's going to get. And now he's on injured reserve, and that's pretty much it. I mean, aren't they going to activate Beal? Once I saw Beal's name in the mix, the rookie who we haven't seen step on the field yet.
Yeah,
I knew it was kind of bad news for Drake Jackson, especially with Randy Gregory in the mix, and obviously Chase Young. So I mean, it's what it is. I mean,
the faux injury on Drake.
Where's that? Oh, okay, there you go.
I did. I'm not even lying. You guys can probably go back and watch me and Raj. Go watch the replay. You don't have to. I'm not forcing you to. I'm just saying it's in that stream. We might not even have said it on screen. I might have said it to Raj off screen, like post stream or pre-stream. Mm-hmm. But I know I said it, and he texted me it.
Yeah, Laura's mentioning Moody's kick to the far right. Hella scared me though.
What's with that
guy?
Yeah,
that was one of those. It's like it's gonna miss. Oh, okay, barely made it.
Why does he have an issue when people icing him, dude? Get better. Come on,
ice baby, too cold. That's the mentality they have. They want to make him cold.
I collaborate. No, is that collaborate? Listen.
All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. This field goal kick, I'm gonna be missing. I don't know. That's pretty bad. Some white boy rap for you.
Huh. Cracker rap.
So let's mention this sequence of plays really quick before we finish up the whole game summary. It was 27-3 in the fourth quarter with 21 minutes left, 4th and 15. Trevor Lawrence backs up the pass, completely pressured by Hargrave, almost got sacked by Hargrave, throws it to the middle of the field, and Fred Warner was just sitting right there at the 40-yard line, as if the pass was just thrown right to him, intended for him. And I just laughed. I love seeing Fred Warner get interceptions. Great guy, and he brought it all the way to the opposite 40-yard line. And it put the 49ers into position to get another touchdown on one of the other plays, actually. That was the play where Brock Purdy ran out and scrambled. It was really nice when we brought the ball back to the 22-yard line, 2nd and 7. Purdy did play action fake and scrambled, had all the room in the world to throw it. And it was just so easy. Juszczyk in the middle of the field, boom, caught it. And that's when the announcer was saying that Juszczyk should have just caught the pass and kneeled at the 1-yard line so we can just run it in with CMC. Remember when they said that? And that brought the game up to 34-3, basically. And then later we tried to get CMC the ball. We forced the ball, and
that was really weird. Like, he wasn't going to get in just because of all the attention that was on him. But
yeah, especially on the pass play, they knew that they were going to throw it. I just wish they ran a better pass play. They ran one to the outside. I just love it when CMC's in the slot, and he's a really, really nice like pseudo slot receiver. And They could have ran a nice little slot play for him or something. That would have been a better, higher percentage type play, even though they knew it was kind of going this
I was
way.
hoping they would get a turnover on that last drive when we shut it down and they were down at like the 2-yard line. I was hoping that we'd get them pinned and no.
Are you saying when CJ had the ball, when CJ was in?
Yeah, like I was like, come on, let's get a turnover. Let's return it to the one. Jared's like, my brother's like, it's not going to happen. It's over.
CJ,
like,
not to be confused with a content creator.
What's that?
CJ Beathard.
Yeah, CJ.
Or not to be confused with Pamela Anderson on Baywatch. Her name was CJ.
Yeah,
Roberto Davis says McKivitz is every bit the same turnstile that McGlinchey was.
Yes.
Pretty close. He's getting there.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
pretty bad.
There were times, man. I mean, Purdy had himself a really, really nice game, but the O-line wasn't making it easy for him. And we could have put up a whole lot more points on certain drives. It just seemed like, and just because the drives were just dead because terrible pass protection, and it just.
We've got to clean that stuff up. That's why I say even in the best victories, there's always stuff you can look to.
Mm-hmm.
Roberto made a good point in the chat. He says when Banks comes back, and we talked about this earlier, and there's been talk, they need him to replace Burford with Feliciano. Yeah, there's a talk. I saw it on Twitter. I don't know if it's true, but I forget who said it or who tweeted it, that there is internal discussion and there's in some sort of internal belief, like a leak, that that Burford's time at the right guard position could be coming to an end. That type of play that Feliciano had recently. Even Jalen Moore, I mean, played pretty well the last couple of games that they've been in. I would love to see Jalen Moore kick out to right tackle.
If we can figure out who the best players are on the offensive line, make it happen. I still want them to draft some real offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Find some. I mean, it just kills me. Like, you think that Kyle Shanahan being this offensive genius would it's such a no-brainer for somebody who is heavily focused on offense.
Right.
Because he has defensive line as a high priority, and you think he'd be such a big trenches guy, but he doesn't do the same on the offensive side of the ball. I don't get it.
I think he thinks because of their offense having all that movement and window dressing and all that stuff, that maybe offensive line is as big as priority, because it's just a lot of smoke and mirrors, so to speak, that you play offensive line with when you run that kind of offense. But I still think that it's totally key.
It could be a financial thing too. It could be a financial thing too, because as you notice, these guys don't have big contracts. It's like a bunch of cheapos on the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, they can't afford everybody. This is a pretty loaded roster right now. This is as talented of a 49er team. The secondary gives me pause. Definitely gives me some pause. But I think if they get who they need to get in the slot, and they kind of just keep certain guys where they are on the outside, I think they'll be okay. I do think that Ward is like a flag waiting to happen every time they throw it up towards him. I don't know. And he had that nice break up in the end zone, though. That was a nice pass defense. But it seems like if the Niners don't get home with their pressure, it's like it's a 50-50 split, whether they're going to give up a big play or not.
Wait, who broke up the pass to the end zone?
Charvarius Ward.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, Ward's
perfect pass defense.
Yeah, I like Ward, but the early, especially in those 3 games that we lost, man. I know his QBs are testing him, and then there's flags thrown on him, and he needs to fix that. He needs to get back to.
People forget back when the 49ers had Eric Davis and Dion. Eric Davis got picked on a lot, and Eric Davis was susceptible to giving up stuff, even as good of a player as Eric Davis was, number 25. Corner's a tough position to play unless you're just all out elite in the NFL. You can't touch anybody. You can't impede their progress. Everything is any contact is pass interference nowadays. It's really the Niners' pressure, I think, will dictate how much or how good that secondary plays. I thought the secondary played an average game today, but I wouldn't say that it's the end of the world. I think they have time to fix it. They have some opponents that I don't think will be able to capitalize on it. Unlike, say, like the Eagles down the road, that'd be a team that I would be really worried about. with our corners. But if the rush keeps playing the way that it does, then maybe I don't worry as much. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just pontificating. But
I love that
there
word,
was talk. There was talk that the
pontificate.
Niners were in on the cornerback market. I know that they they kind of sniffed around the Broncos for Surtain, and of course we all know about Jalen Johnson. So I mean, it's obvious that they know that they have a little bit of a sniff. I was going to say snafu, but that's not the right word. A little bit of an issue at cornerback. They're thin. They're like really one big injury away from having a really bad secondary. So
there you go. So just a reminder, I did drop a poll a little bit late on this show, but it is there nonetheless. Cast your vote for the poll. It's in regards to who is the MVP of this game. So you can cast your votes. There's a couple options on there. We got Jason Niners Smash Massey in the house. Says Talofa, if I'm saying that right. I believe that's some Samoan greeting of some sort. Says faithful, good win today. Good to have you here, bro. He's got a podcast.
Yeah, Jason
McKinney. Never met Jason before, but I definitely met TJ a couple times. Cool guy. Ran into him at Levi's before. Good dude. He's in the video with Wayne Breezy. Faithful to the Bay. TJ McKinney's in the background of that video. John, that's what's his name? Ted's in there. That who I team up with.
Ted, yeah.
Ted's in the video. Ted H. Terradome's in the video. So
I should have went there.
I know. Sing the song, Aaron. Let's see you sing it.
Nope. No more. No more 49er rap.
Okay, Laura. I'll look at the poll again. There's no question. The question. I tried to drop a question there. Surprised it didn't work. Let me go back and look at it. Okay, on my end it shows the question. It says who was today's MVP? Maybe if you click on it and expand it, it might show the question for you. For me, it definitely shows the question. It says who is today's MVP? It's either Brock Purdy, Nick Bosa, George Kittle, or Chase Young. I wanted to put Ayuk in there, but it would only let me throw in certain names.
Let me see. I think I'm gonna pick. I won't tell you who I pick until after.
Okay. There you go. We got 10 votes so far. So whoever's watching, feel free to hit up that poll.
I just voted
today, Junior. Let's look at the breakdowns of the sacks. Unfortunately, I don't have the pressures. It looked a lot better watching the game. And numbers wise, sacks, it doesn't look that impressive. But if you saw the game, it was really nice. You saw a major difference. Eric Armstead had half a sack. Nick Bosa had 1.5 sacks, or like he says, a sack-a-rooney. That's what Bosa always says. Clelin Ferrell had a nice sack. Javon Hargrave, he was really nice. I love that Javon Hargrave sack celebration. I don't know. Is it called Javon? Okay. Is it called the kick the door down sack celebration that he does?
I think so.
I love that sack celebration. It's awesome. and he wasn't doing it these past few weeks. Early in the season, he got off to a nice start, and he stopped doing this. He stopped getting to the quarterback, and he stopped doing his little celebrations. So good to see him back. And Chase Young had half a sack, but I mean, it looks like it's only half a sack on paper. But when you're watching the game, man, he made his presence. Bosa made his presence. The pass rush was back. Even there were times where Randy Gregory looked like he was pretty nice out there too. Leading tackler of the game, Drake Greenlaw, he was nice. He looked like he got back to form. Fred Warner got back to form. Hufanga had his nose around the ball. Greenlaw had a tackle for a loss, and as far as interceptions go, Talanoa Hufanga had one interception for 12 yards. Fred Warner had one interception for 22 yards, and Nick Bosa batted down a pass, and that was really nice. And Kinlaw batted down the pass too. So
Kinlaw,
good old Kinlaw, your favorite player.
My favorite player in the whole world. No, I mean he played okay. I mean, but at this point, it's like, wow, he played okay in a game. It's like 4 years later, like it doesn't matter anymore. He's not on the team next year. I'm not a hater, people. I tell you how it is. You know,
you're a hater when you imitate. We do your impersonation.
I got big balls. I got bigger balls than you. Shut up. What does your ball size have to do with anything? What are you talking about?
But I just didn't get it. Like, you have this huge like mountain of a man in Kinlaw, and freaking Grant Cohn's like a pencil.
I'll step to him. I'm 6'3", 290. I'll go.
Get the step.
We both have bad knees, so all I have to do is kick him, and he'll probably do the same thing with me. We'll just be on the ground writhing in pain.
Yeah. If anybody else wants to glance at that poll, just let me know if you can see. Aaron, you can glance at the poll. Look at the chat. Let me know if you can see the question above it, because on my end I see the question. It definitely has the names on there. According to Laura, she said she could only see the
It
names.
says, who was today's MVP?
Okay. So you do see the
Brock
question.
Purdy,
Okay.
Nick Bosa, Kittle, or Young?
There you go. So far, we got 14 votes up in the mix. Andy Land's here. Okay, cool. What's up, Andy Land? A friend of mine went to high school with. Good to see you here, bro. I'm sure he's pretty happy about the game. Yeah, I mean, the question was earlier. I dropped it about Wilkes and the defense, and did it matter that he was on the sidelines, or was it just a personnel change that we got Chase Young in the defense? Definitely the Chase Young thing is going to matter regardless who your defensive coordinator is. You could have the weakest defensive coordinator in the NFL. If you put Chase Young opposite of Bosa, it's going to be a difference maker. But I still think it was important to see Wilkes out there. It just looked a lot better seeing it when you saw him in the booth. Rod did a great impression of it when I had him on the show on Friday. He's just like, he shows no emotions in the booth, and I don't know, man. He looked like he was focused. You could see him. It was nice to see him talk to players. It was nice to see him just looking active on the sidelines. I'd rather see that, and it's what we're used to seeing, Initially, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I'll be honest with you, because like in the preseason, people were saying take him out of the booth, and I wasn't really saying that. And I was thinking it, and more so once we went on that 3-game skid, right? But definitely a combination though, because again, you could put Chase Young out there on any team with the weakest D coordinator out there, and he's going to help your pass rush. And
Niners have studs on their defensive line. I mean, they got it. You got to win. It's to me, it was the combination of everything. It was a combination of him being on the sideline, combination of rest, a combination of having Nick Bosa and Chase Young be your edges and Hargrave be one of your D tackles. It's not bad. Yeah, and like you said, Randy Gregory didn't look too bad. Clelin Ferrell didn't look too bad. Overall, Bashar, coming off of a bye week, we looked pretty damn good, and there's still room for improvement. That's the key.
Yes, sir. Let me see what's up to Donald Johnson. Great to have you here, bro. Buddy of mine from Facebook. He's on my Facebook group. Oh, by the way, if you guys are on Facebook, for example, you're not in the 49er Minded Facebook group, feel free to join it. I put out a lot of alerts for the shows on there.
Yes, he does.
Just a lot of cool interactions, and if there's any funny videos about the 49ers or any cool highlight videos, we post them on there, and anybody's free to share whatever content they have on there that's 49er related. So feel free to join there. If you want to get in touch with me or just want to see the social media that I post in general, you can always hit up the 49er Minded Instagram page or the 49er Twitter page. Let them know about your Twitter page. Go ahead and your Instagram if you want, Aaron.
Twitter. It's I'm actually 49er First Takes at 49er First Takes is my Twitter. My TikTok is First Takes 49. They didn't allow me to put it the same way as everything else. First Takes 49. That's my my TikTok, and then my Twitter is at 49ers First Takes. YouTube, of course, it's on the screen right there. 49ers First Takes podcast. Everything's 49er related. Sometimes on Instagram I'll post normal life, family stuff. I'm an uncle, so sometimes I like to show off my, nieces and stuff because I'm that kind of guy. But overall, it's mostly all football. I'm doing I don't know if you want me to talk about anything, but I have a show tomorrow.
Hey, good.
I have a show tomorrow night. The Niners Coast to Coast crew. We do a weekly rotation. This week it's on my channel. It's me, Ty Elston, Brian Culp, and David McNiner. So make sure you guys jump on that tomorrow, 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be awesome because we won. So it'll be a lot. It's funny though, Bashar. Losses is actually more exciting to talk about because I get more emotional. When we win, I'm pretty stoic. Like I'm just like, we can play better, all that kind of stuff.
We won. Big deal.
Yeah, but when I'm upset, people are like, yeah, go get it. And I'm just like, I can't sustain that. So
I was late. We were supposed to do a show a little bit earlier because I wanted your emotions to be up a little higher, but
yeah,
I get it. You had to refuel.
Do a show, and my brother ordered pizza like right after the game, and I'm like, dude, I have to do a show, and I have to tell Bashar, can we kick it down the road like an hour? Damn it.
Pizza always has precedent over doing.
Dude, I hadn't eaten all day. That was like my first sustenance. I had to eat.
It's pizza, man. You can't say no to pizza.
It's pizza.
Pizza.
Only thing
Pizza,
that's better
pizza,
than
pizza.
pizza is barbecue.
I thought you were going to say something else. But okay.
Not on here.
Okay. Roberto says bang, 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 bang. Let me go over the box score really quick in terms of the team stats. So the 49ers had a total of 437 yards as opposed to the Jacksonville only put up 221 yards. Nice. So 437 to 221. Passing yards, 49ers had 293. Jacksonville only had 162. There you go. Rushing yards, 144 on the ground for the Niners. Pretty good job there. 59 yards on the ground for Jacksonville. And we shut down Travis Etienne. That was nice. Average yards per play, 49ers 7, Jacksonville 4. 49ers put up 434 points, Jacksonville 3. We did not fumble today. We did not turn over the ball. We didn't fumble. Jacksonville turned over the ball twice. Interceptions with no interceptions thrown. Jacksonville threw 2. So we were excellent in the turnover battle. Sacks allowed. We only gave up 2 sacks, even though there was a lot of really bad pressure at times. Jacksonville gave up 5 sacks. Third down efficiency, 33% for both teams. It was equal, actually. We could have did a bit better on third down efficiency, and Purdy's usually really good on third down. So in general, time of possession, 49ers dominated them. They had the ball 33 minutes, 11 seconds. Jacksonville had the ball for 26 minutes and 49 seconds. And penalties, we still need to clean that up. We had 7 penalties as opposed to 5 penalties.
Yep.
But other than that, pretty damn good game.
Couple drive killers.
There you go. Red Jet says pizza and Niners for life. Yep.
I think it goes God, 49ers, pizza, life.
God, family, 49ers, pizza.
Yeah, God, family.
I don't think I've watched a game with pizza this year. I don't think I've had a slice of pizza.
We usually, what my brother does is he'll order pizza, depending on even if the Niners are playing at like 4, we'll get it at both of us will eat something around noon, and then like today the game ended and he immediately got it. We just got some pepperoni. It was really good. It's from a place called Guida's.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that place. I actually had to look it up and check it out, see how it looked. It's not. I was expecting to see traditional New York pizza with big slices, but it's a little different. I think it's more.
They do Sicilian. Right? They do the square. It was really good. It was hot. Came right out of the oven. It was fantastic. No wings this time. I got, man. The older you get, guys, and when you eat spicy stuff, you pay for it.
I'm used to spicy stuff for whatever reason. I can do spicy, so I'm fine with that.
It's funny. My nephew can't eat any spicy food at all.
Really?
All. Like if we get wings, like one time me and him watched Niners game at his place, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna get pepperoni pizza or whatever, and I'm gonna get mild wings." I'm like, "Mild?" He's like, "Man, I can't take that hot stuff." I'm like, "Oh my God, mild wings." It's like hot sauce diluted with like 2 cups of butter. It's like ridiculous. But hey.
I'll be honest though. I mean, as much as I can tolerate spicy stuff, I don't necessarily like, in terms of wings, just when the wings category, I don't like my wings to be too spicy. Now there's like a sweet chipotle, spicy sweet sauce that I kind of like, but when it's buffalo and it's too spicy, I don't enjoy
Anchor Bar sauce is the best.
What's it called?
Anchor Bar.
Oh, okay.
It's a place here in Buffalo.
It's a famous wings place in Buffalo. Isn't that the place that invented
you put
wings?
that on. I like it. It's like the perfect taste of. It's got, your normal butter and hot sauce, but it also has like garlic and some other stuff. It's tasty.
Okay, so cool. We got a new subscriber. I hope hit the like and subscribe channel if you are a newcomer. Says, hey, hello, fellow fans, first time visitor. Hope you're a Niner fan. If you are, welcome to the family. Hit up the like and subscribe on the channel. Also, you can subscribe to Aaron's channel as well. It's 49ers First Takes. The link to the description. In the description box of the video, you'll find a link to the channel. It is right there, and it also says it right there on his name, 49ers First Takes podcast. Very easy to find him. And Dad Vastater, interesting name there. Says me too. Okay. Also, I put up a poll in the chat. Before I close out the poll, you guys can cast your votes on who the MVP of the game was. Some people couldn't see the question, but there's definitely names that you can see that are visible. But basically, the question is, who was today's MVP? Is it Brock Purdy, Nick Bosa, George Kittle, or Chase Young? Those were the only 4 names that I could put. I wanted to add Ayuk and CMC, but it wouldn't let me. There you go. So you can cast your votes.
I know who I picked.
I know who I picked too. I think it was. Well, you know what? I didn't get to. You know what? I can actually vote. I won't let me vote on my own poll actually, but there's another way for me to do it. And I can
on my own.
Anita Baker. No, Patti LaBelle. My bad.
And it's funny how I just like randomly barely sung that, and you know exactly who I
It
was
was Patti
talking about.
LaBelle. I knew it was Patti
Oh
LaBelle
my
because there was a video. Remember when Patti LaBelle had her? She had her line of pies that were sold at Walmart. Some guy made a video where he was biting into the pie and acting like it was the greatest pie he ever ate in his life, and then he started singing "On My Own" after he was taking a few bites of the pie or whatever. So, shout out to Patty.
My brain works like that. I hear a word and it triggers a song. My mom's the same way. When my dad was alive, something would be said and it would happen. My mom would sing it, and my dad would be like, I knew you were going to do that. People do that with me too. They're like,
Yeah,
I know
I'm
a song.
always
Can't help it.
It's always like that. I do too. I'm very musically inclined when it comes to that. Michael McDonald. Michael McDonald was a legend, man. We brought him up the other day on the last stream. Yeah, Michael McDonald was a beast. Yes, sir. So so definitely cast your votes with Paul. I'll give the breakdown. So I didn't close the poll out just yet. I'll let people vote a little bit more. But so far, Brock Purdy is in the running at 50%. He's got the lead out of 18 votes. Nick Bosa at 17%. George Kittle at 17 and Chase Young at 17. It's a three-way tie for those guys. Looks like Brock Purdy's going to come out in the lead in this one. Deservedly so, rightfully so. I mean, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns. Didn't have the greatest blocking up front. I mean, I love the fact that Brock has such quick feet. His awareness is there. Sure, he threw some interceptions in the last few games. Some people say that he doesn't have the clutch gene or whatever crap like that. Look, he's still, he's super. I believe he's only 23 years old, or he could be 24. I'm not sure his exact age.
The story hasn't been written on his whole career yet.
Yeah, he's still only 23 years old.
I checked Twitter while we were doing the stream, and Ryan Hensley made a tweet. He's like, "There's no question he's a good QB, but can he be great, or can he be elite? And time will tell." We want greatness. We want elite because we're 49er fans, and that's what we were used to many moons ago. But he's not a bad quarterback. He's better than Jimmy, which isn't saying much, but the story isn't finished. We still have some season left, and who knows what happens.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned that you still kind of have PTSD from watching Jimmy.
Yeah.
When Brock Purdy drops
there's
back
a pass
there,
that goes out of the screen, I'm like, and then it's completed, and then
I'll be honest,
I'm like, I flinch every single time. Like, no,
I don't flinch anymore. I don't flinch. What? Ever since now, maybe Purdy's the Dolphins game, because as I didn't know who he was. I knew he was, obviously. I watched him a little bit in college, but I didn't know what he'd do in a Niner uniform in a real game that mattered. Early on, I kind of flinched a little bit here and there, but once he started winning games last year, I stopped flinching, and I just the confidence that he brings out there on the field just relaxes. I just get relaxed when I watch him play, and he has it in him to make the plays down the field, and I don't. It doesn't bother me when I see him launch the ball downfield at all, despite what we saw in the last few games. On my own, Terradome says, on my own, Michael McDonald and Patti LaBelle. I totally forgot that Michael McDonald was on that song. There you go. So cool. And Laura, you brought up Sicilian pizza. You never had Sicilian pizza before. It's usually the square type slices, and it's a lot thicker. So you ever had any pizza? You said you've been to Slice House before. Slice House has Sicilian slices. So definitely try it next time you go to Slice House. I love Sicilian pizza. It's very, very underrated, though. It's very good.
Sometimes I don't like really thick pie. I do like the New York style thin. It's kind of depends on the place. It depends on the place.
Yeah.
I miss, listen, Papa John's is probably not the greatest pizza, but I miss Papa John's and the garlic sauce. That garlic sauce was like heavenly. So good.
Papa John's gets way too much hate, in my opinion. If we're gonna be talking pizza, seriously, man,
it was really good in like the late '90s. I used to order like cheese sticks with sauce.
Especially they have those deals. It's pretty damn for those deals that they have. It tastes way better than freaking Domino's in there. And I know
Domino's is awful.
Domino's makes Little Caesars that feel like gourmet or whatever.
I literally have a Little Caesars probably 2 minutes from my house.
Yeah, I haven't had Little Caesars in like maybe 4 years or something, but. Yeah,
I like their their crazy bread and that little like crappy little bread with garlic oil, and I love it. Dude, I could bang that out like all of it. Give me like a full bag of that.
It says like Terradome says New York versus Chicago style. Let the war begin. I like them both, but I prefer New York. I prefer New York.
I don't want to have lasagna.
You call it lasagna.
Big old sludgy piece that just slides everywhere. Like, nah. I like my food compact and clean and, like fold it up, eat it, it's gone. Not have to cut it, make sure I don't tip it so it doesn't spill on, it's just like I don't have all that time. So
Yes, sir. So let's see. I'm gonna take a look at the NFL scores right now. I'm curious to see what's going on. So currently,
curious. You got me fat. So
I don't even know that song.
Luxurious. That's somebody knows.
Okay. Let me read the score really quick. The Seahawks are currently up, unfortunately, on the Washington Commanders, 16-12. There's still a lot of football to go.
I think it was
left,
Jamiroquai.
Oh, Jamiroquai, I remember him. The third quarter is about to end pretty soon, so there's plenty of football left for the Commanders to make a dent in this game and possibly come up and get the lead. But it's a close one. It's a close one. Seattle. I don't know which other NFC West
said
teams.
Sludgy. Yes, I did.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it sludgy. That's kind of like a smoothie or something like that.
There's a pizza place out where I live, and I wish I had some of my fellow Rochester, New Yorkers in here called Pudgy's. Okay? It used to get some hate back in the day because it was pretty bad. That's that cheap in the cut, like when you're really hungry and if, your friends happen to smoke a lot of weed. It became really good. It used to be some of the worst pizza in the city. I mean, if you compare it to like other places, of course it's not that good, but the name was called Pudgy's.
There you go.
Kind of funny.
Shout out to Pudgy's. So the Arizona Cardinals are up on the Atlanta Falcons right now with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game, 22-17. Interesting. Okay, just to throw that game out there. And the 49ers next game, I believe we're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if I'm not mistaken. And against Baker Mayfield.
Are we home 2 games in a row?
I'm gonna check on that for you really quick.
Christopher Robinson.
So yeah, we're definitely at home for the next game. The 1:05 start time on the West Coast. It's Baker Mayfield, and you were asking about the following game after that. It's against the Seahawks. We play in Seattle, so Thursday night game. Thursday night in Seattle. I'd love to get a victory in Seattle, especially on Thursday night.
What in the hell? How do we get one home game and then we're back on the road?
I don't know. At least it's only on the West Coast travel, though. So the flights in Seattle, I think, is only maybe a 2-hour flight tops, maybe an hour and a half flight. Whoa, that was pretty vulgar there. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, so looks like we're gonna play Tampa Bay. Let's see what Tampa Bay's record looks like in the last few games, and just curious about Tampa Bay, and then we can close this out really quick, and I can cover up the poll really quick. The poll's been up there for actually for half an hour, so I'm gonna end the poll right now.
Cover up the poll.
Yeah, it looks like Brock Purdy pretty much won that poll, 55%. So Brock Purdy today's MVP, gets the game ball. Pretty sure he probably got the game ball in the locker room. Wouldn't have been surprised. And
I voted for Purdy.
He had himself a nice bounce back game. Yeah, it's ridiculous that guys like Dan Orlovsky, who did nothing in the NFL, who was just straight garbage.
Oh my God! Why do all the guys that suck the most always have the strongest opinions on who's elite and who isn't? Like, you're trash. Like, before Jimmy made getting a safety look sexy, you made it look like you were like slow in the brain, dude. Like, oh, Orlowski. Remember when that bum Sean Salisbury used to be on ESPN and he would get into it with that one guy? They would argue all the time and he would make fun of him for looking like an alien.
I remember Salisbury. I don't remember who he got into it with, though.
Remember that he passed away. He used to do the updates. He's kind of a balding man. He was in the commercial where he acted like he had long hair and he was rocking out to metal. I forget.
I don't know what you're talking about. Help us out in the chat, guys. Help us out. I don't know what he's talking about. It's all good. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers actually won today against the Titans, 20-6. And the previous game, it was down to the wire against the Texans. CJ Stroud. That was a game where CJ Stroud had himself a really, really nice game, 39-37. I'm just looking at past games that the Buccaneers have played. Before that, they lost to the Buffalo Bills, 24-18. Looks like they played some fairly close games. I mean, they also lost to the Falcons, 13-16. They got their butts whipped by the Lions, 20-6. So they're kind of an up and down team. What I'm seeing here. So
they have talent. So I'm not sitting there going to write them off. I think their offense is They got some receivers and all that.
Mike Evans, man, that guy's a beast.
Mike Evans. They have the other guy. I forget his name. Godwin.
Godwin, yeah, he's good too.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not sure who they have a running back right now. Let me just look at their roster.
I thought Pudgy was a skinny kid, like big kid called Tiny.
Nobody knows who you're talking about in the chat, huh? But I thought somebody would get it.
It was John Clayton.
Oh, I do remember John Clayton now. Okay.
Him and Salisbury used to get into it all the time.
Salisbury.
John
State.
Clayton. John Clayton passed away, unfortunately. And Salisbury ended up getting fired from ESPN because he, showed pictures of his hoo-ha to some female employees and got fired. Dumbass.
I don't remember.
People are so stupid. Like, you're not even that good of an analyst. You sucked as a football player. What makes you think you could do something like that and not get fired? Jeez, here you go. Show it. Like, what? Ugh.
I'm going to go through the breakdown of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stat-wise really quick, just something to give people the peace of mind. I mean, they're 3-5 this year. Well, actually, I'm not sure if that counts. I'm not sure if today's win shows up on that stat line or not. But with that, they did win today, though. With that said, they break Baker Mayfield. I'll go over his stats really, really quick if I can go ahead and pull them back up. Had them for a second, and I lost them. There they are. He has 1,865 yards passing this year, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah.
92.7 rating. That's okay. It's not really all that great, but he's got a nice touchdown interception ratio. 64.9 completion percentage. He does have himself some receivers. His leading receiver this year is Mike Evans. Surprise, surprise. 5 touchdowns, 594 yards on the season, 16.1 per reception. Chris Godwin, who you mentioned, number 14, 468 receiving yards, and Rashad White's their running back. He's their third leading receiver. Rashad White on the ground, 378 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, they got some talent. I mean, they got some good players, and we definitely can't take this team lightly. I know we're at home, so it's nice to be back at home, and possibly have another victory on our belts. That'd be nice. And that's about it, man. So I appreciate everybody in the chat. It was a very, very fun game to watch today. A lot of people say that they don't like blowouts. They like games that are closer down the wire. I'm on the end of give
Y'all
me a blowout.
Y'all can take all
day.
that close crap. I'll take a blowout any day of the week.
Yeah, give me big touchdowns. Give me big plays. Give me sacks. Give me interceptions. I want it all. I don't want a game where where it relies on a damn kicker, let alone our rookie kicker. So thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys have all been awesome. Thank you for participating in the poll. Appreciate the new people who watched and liked and subscribed. And hopefully everybody hit up Aaron's channel as well, 49ers First Take Podcast. And I'm going to be on live Bring the Heat podcast with Mariah and No More Sports. I'm Ryan. I believe it should be on Ryan's channel this week. It's a stream that we do where we bounce around to different channels. And after this week, it will be on my channel next week. So definitely check that out. It's on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock. Friday is going to be on Ball with Bash and Ted at 3 and with Raj live on my channel at 7 p.m. as well. So, and maybe on Saturday, Aaron and I will link up next Saturday. So we'll see.
We'll let you know.
Yes. Anything you got going on? Or you already went through that, huh?
I have Niners Coast to Coast Monday. I have me and Ted at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. And then me and Raj, we did a Thursday stream this week, and it actually worked well. So we might be moving to Thursday. But I'll let you guys know exactly when that's going to be on the community tab if you are part of my subscriber base.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Another thing to do is check out my community tab on YouTube as well. I announce things on there, announce things on my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Facebook page as well. So it's been great. Thank you, guys. Another beautiful victory, 34-3. We finally broke that horrible losing streak. Hopefully that's the last of our losing streaks, so to speak. Thank you guys for watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Bang, bang, Niner gang, 34-3. Let's do this. Let's get some more victories. Let's beat Tampa Bay. Let's go.
See ya.
Come on, 49er fans, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick done quick.
Yeah, area. Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er
We from the Bay.
49er
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er